So the beef between Wendy Osefo and Gizelle Bryant is on. And based on this new exclusive interview with Entertainment Tonight, Wendy says that Giselle's plan was premeditated to talk about the quote, Eddie rumors. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. As you know, we will be covering the Real Housewives of Potomac season premiere, season 6, and everything that will be going on. So you don't want to miss out on any of that. So in a new exclusive interview with Entertainment Tonight, Dr. Wendy Osefo is opening up about her experiences in season 5 as opposed to her experience in season 6, including her makeover. Apparently, a lot of people had comments about Wendy Osefo's body and what it looked like during season 5, but in this interview, she reminds us that she literally started filming season 5 right after she gave birth to her daughter. Honestly, that was never a big deal to me about Wendy and her body or the way it looked. I actually thought Wendy looked fine. Could she use an upgrade in fashion and things like that? Maybe. But I didn't think she looked so bad that everyone, I mean, in comparison to Gizelle and her fashion, I digress. But back to this exclusive interview that she did with ET Online. She opens up about a lot of different things. And she says the Wendy that we met in season 5 and the Wendy that we meet in season 6 are very different. And this is what she says to ET. I think season 5 Wendy was just a bit unsure. And I think season 6 Wendy came into it more confident. Okay, this is what I know. I've been around these women. This is what I can expect from them. And that was the big difference for me. But it's so funny because even with that mindset, I got blindsided in season 6. Even though I came in saying, okay, I got this, I sort of know what I can buck at, I was still blindsided. We've been talking about the dynamic shifts that happen amongst the friendships in the last few weeks as the season premiere comes closer. But she confirms it in this interview. She says, there were a lot of dynamic shifts. So there's people who I didn't think I would be besties with, who I'm besties with. And there's people who I thought I'll be besties with that I'm not. And as a lot of people were speculating, they're thinking is Gizelle Bryant. And I'm rest assured, I think that's who she's alluding to. Because we saw in season 5, Gizelle and Dr. Wendy seemed to get along pretty well. They had a little bit of an issue in the beginning of season 5, but they got over it. As always, and as we saw with Gizelle in last season and how she handled everything there in regards to rumors that were on the blogs, she brings that same energy into season 6. And according to Dr. Wendy and the Eddie rumors, and we've covered the Eddie rumors. Can we talk a little bit about the Eddie rumors? They're rumors. And I loved what she said during this conversation with ET. She understands what we all have to do here. She understands it. But one thing she wants to say that's off limits, it's her children and her husband, Eddie Osefo. But she says this, and I love how she owns this. She says, I'm not immune to the fact that we are public figures, right? This is not a woe is me conversation. When you're a public figure, people go and talk about you. People go and lie about you, and it is what it is. And I'm okay with that. I know what I signed up for, but there is, for me, a level of expectation that I felt we have within our circle, referring to the women of the Real Housewives of Potomac, especially when it's a salacious blog that has also spread vicious rumors about her and her family, referring to Gizelle and Pastor Jamal Bryant. And if you're wondering what blog she's talking about All About the Tea. You know, we got into that drama because Dr. Wendy decided to talk about everything that was happening over at All About the Tea. And yes, I know everyone keeps asking me, Kempire, how come you stopped covering All About the Tea and everything that's been going on? As I always said to you guys, you see it on the banner of this channel, curator of pop culture. I'm covering everything that I feel that's worthy of covering at this point. It's been weeks, y'all. But back to this. So in regards to the conversation that she's having, that Dr. Wendy is having with Entertainment Tonight, she talked a little bit more about these Eddie rumors. She said it was like This doesn't make any sense to me because you are repeating a lie that if I wanted to, I could repeat the same thing about you, anyone here, because that's what they do. And don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at the blogs. Everyone has to eat. Do you, you know? I'm not mad at it because we know our truth. And I'm confident in my marriage. It doesn't matter. But in the same token, you have a level of expectation from your friends, and you don't think that your friends will ever give life to a lie. If anything, they will quell it because they're your friend. She also alluded that she's very disappointed that Gizelle would bring this rumor up because she said she's heard from other people, you know, that aren't necessarily on the show that warned her about Gizelle. And she says, you know what? She tries to take people as they treat her. And I'm the same way. There are a lot of people that warn me about other people.
Oh.
You have to see what your relationship is going to be with that person and how they show up in that person. And apparently, Gizelle showed up in her true color. But in a question where the interviewer asked Dr. Wendy, does she feel bringing this lie to the show was premeditated? And she does. She says, I do think it was premeditated. And I also know that certain individuals on the show have a pattern in the practice of attacking people's families. That's what they do. That's what they get off on. And you know, again, if that's what you do you. But don't do that with the Osefo crew. I don't play. And I say that very clear to not play with my husband's name. Let the other people do that, the blogs, because that's what they're paid to do. But don't you do that. And I think that this group quickly learned that I have what I call my sacred four. That's my husband and my three kids. Talk about my wigs, my clothes, anything you want to, child. Just talk about me. But don't talk about a man who is not just a good husband, but a good father. And his only crime is supporting me to be on this platform. Don't do that because I will drag you. And we see that in the promo trailer for this new season. What she also says in this conversation, she says, what you have to understand from the professor is that when I light your ass up, it can be with my words and my oration skills. It don't have to be light your ass up in the way people think it means because I'm a master and a wordsmith. But in regards to her relationship and the beef between her and Gizelle, this rumor coming on the show, she says, you know what, this rumor is, you may think it's for TV, but this is my real life. And this is what she says. This may be breaking a little bit of the fourth wall here. I think that sometimes people forget that this is the real world, right? So don't think you're going to try and talk about my family under the safety blanket of saying, oh, no, 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 this is just for the show. No, this is real life. I understand that she made it a pattern to have fake relationships. So it's okay if people attack that. My marriage is real. This is not for TV. My marriage is real. She goes on to say, I take my vows seriously. My vows are sacred. It's a sacrament. Don't play with that. Don't play with me and don't play with my husband. So forget the cameras. I'm talking to you in real life. And I wanted to make that very clear. These other people may let people play with their relationships. Don't play with mine. I have to say, Dr. Wendy sounds a lot like me. But I always said, even last season, I didn't love Dr. Wendy last season, but I didn't hate her. And I wanted her to come back to sort of, for lack of a better word, redeem herself or really show up and be able to, for us to see more of Dr. Wendy. So I am okay with Dr. Wendy coming back. Robin is another issue. We'll talk about Robin for season 6, y'all. We're not going to even get into it this video. But when the question of how Eddie is dealing with all of these rumors that have been on the blogs and what's going to be playing out during the show, Dr. Wendy says this, Eddie's so good. Eddie's only concern was, are you okay, baby? That's all he cared about. He really has been a rock. We're going on 10 years of marriage. I didn't think I could love him more, but just how he has been like, don't worry about it, leave this alone, like it doesn't matter, and just be as, and has been such a gentleman, because there were times where I wanted to get dirty and just attack back. And Eddie said, don't do that. You're better than that. And that shows me the type of man I marry. She also says that he's not fazed by it. And he's like, oh, does this mean I'll get more Instagram followers? Oh, Eddie. But speaking of Instagram, the interviewer asked Dr. Wendy Osefo, in regard, how does she feel about Gizelle unfollowing her? Because in an interview, Gizelle says she unfollowed her because she didn't find Dr. Wendy interesting. But Dr. Wendy pretty much says that she's too booked and busy to go and unfollow Gizelle. But she understands why Gizelle unfollowed her, because when you read someone the way that she read her during the season, she understands why she would unfollow her. And this is what she says. I mean, if someone read me and dragged me for filth the way I did her, I would unfollow them too. I'm not mad. She shouldn't follow me. Imagine me saying what I said to her and she still follows me. So yeah, she did the right thing. And she alluded to this on Instagram when it happened. But I'm sure a lot of people are wondering how she feels about Monique Samuels, especially because of everything and how it played out last season, and with Gizelle allegedly playing with Monique's family. You would think that she would have Monique's back, but you have to remember Dr. Wendy is still really good friends with Candace. And this is what she says in regards to Monique and her not being a part of season 6. I wish her well, and I wish her happiness in all she does in the future. That's it. But in regards to her relationship with Karen Huger, and I reported this in just a video yesterday, her relationship with Karen has really blossomed. They actually have each other's back, especially during the whole Eddie rumors. And in a separate interview, Karen pretty much says, don't play with people's husbands when you don't have a husband that we can respond or play with. This is what Wendy says about Karen. I want you guys to see, I don't want to give it away, but when I tell you Karen is definitely like, she gets the crown, absolutely. She also says that Karen stood by her like no one else amid the Gizelle drama. She did what I would expected some others to do. Based on what we've been seeing on social media yesterday in the DMV, the ladies had a whole pop-up interviews. It was beautiful. We got to see Ascala, who is going to be a friend of. I can already tell I'm going to love Ascala. Not only is she beautiful, I could just read her energy on social media. I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna like this girl, even though she's Robin's friend. Friend, you know how these shows work. But they are out there promoting. You could already see there's Team Karen and there's Team Gizelle. I don't know how this season's going to play out. We will be recapping the show. A lot of you have been asking if we could push it back to Monday. We have a lot of international folks that follow us, so we're going to do that. Monday is going to be jam-packed because we're also going to be recapping Shahs of Sunset, Married to Medicine Reunion Part 2. We have a busy night tonight, and I love talking with you guys and having you call in and share your thoughts and comment in the chat and comment in the comment section. Let's continue the conversation on this new exclusive interview with Dr. Wendy Osefo and Entertainment Tonight. And as always, we will be citing our sources in the description of this video. A lot of you are asking, why do you say cite my sources? I just remember that from college. Any journalist, any student, you always cite your sources. Remember where you heard it here first. Guys, be sure to check that interview out in the description of this video. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys later.